This video is presented by the Durham County Library. My name is Larry, Adult Service Librarian for the Durham County Library Public Library System, and we're going to talk about accessing newspaper through our website using our newspaper databases. All right, let's get started. So first, I want you to go to durhamcountylibrary.org, go to research, click the link that says online resources by category. Scroll to the bottom until you see the link that says magazine, newspapers, and journals. Go all the way to the bottom where you will find newspapers. And this is the section where you can find local and national newspapers. So if you find that article that you're interested in and you click it, but you get caught with the paywall where you have to subscribe, or if you want to cancel your subscription, we have you covered for that. We at the library and also with NC Live, which I will explain later on in the presentation, that you have a subscription to any of the major publications and the local newspaper if you are located in the Triangle area. So let's look at the HeraldSun. The HeraldSun and the News and Observer are published online through the same company, Newsbank Inc. So when you click the News and Observer link, it'll look exactly like this. You can search a story if you know the title, or if you just want to look at the paper and look at stories that's being published currently, you would click these two. The blogs has a different section, but that's been discontinued back in 2015. One thing of note, if you're not getting today's paper today, utilizing our online database, you'll be able to access yesterday's paper today. Oftentimes, if a story was published in the morning, then you will be able to access it later on tonight. So it takes about 12 hours before a story is getting published. So here are today's news. And if once you click it, and if you want to share it with someone so they can read it, or if you want to get back to it later, you can either download it or email it to you. Even email it to yourself or someone that may be interested in the story. All right, and like I said, it's the same thing for the News and Observer. The same rules and the same way to access the news is the same way. All right, we're gonna skip the historic North Carolina digital newspaper. And that's if someone has an archive that they found out about a relative in a particular county, a story about someone that they know, they can access that. But we're gonna skip that for the time being and go over to the New York Times. So you will click off-site remote access, and you will create an account. And when you create an account, it gives you 4 days for a trial account. Your account will renew when you sign in again after the 4 or 5 days when the trial period is up. So that way you won't have to pay for a subscription. It's a free subscription through the library. So if you just recently canceled your New York Times subscription, or there's a lot of stories, it's a big season as far as the election and a lot of information that's coming out in the New York Times. If you want to get the news, stay abreast of what's going on, then you can access the New York Times through our library system. Now I'm going to demonstrate how that will go. Uh-oh. There we go. And see, it would expire on the 23rd. So when you sign in on the 24th, it'll renew again for 3 more days. And there you have it. The New York Times. It's a blank page because my internet is sort of slow, but you have it. Once you log in, create an account and log in, you have access to today's paper of the New York Times. All right. There we go. And see, there's a lot of things going on. Justice Department files antitrust suit against Google. If you want to read more about this, I recommend reading the book called The Four. It's about how Google, Amazon, Facebook, and Apple rose up to prominence. I'll also recommend The New Gilded Age. That book as well is a good book. All right, so let's go back to newspapers. All right. The last database I'll show is Proquest Newsstand. And you see the icon on the side, that's from NC Live. And NC Live is a consortium for all the library systems within the state of North Carolina. So when you sign in off-site, you will arrive at a page that looks like this. And you would select the library that you're a part of. So if you've moved within the state and you don't have your library card, but you have a library card that's from Greensboro, Charlotte, Pinehurst, I could go on. You can access the library database using your library card. So you will choose what library you're affiliated with and type in your library card and your PIN. That's how you will utilize NC Live. It's also great if you have children who are doing homework assignments and have a project that they have to submit, but they have to do some research. NC Live is a great tool. So let's talk about Proquest. Proquest is a database that has all the popular, notable national newspapers. So it's a great database to use if you find stories from the Los Angeles Times, Washington Post, the Miami Herald, um, any story that you come across. Wall Street Journal also is under here. As you can see, there's a lot of newspapers. That's a lot of news. So let's look into the Los Angeles Times. And unlike the HeraldSun, you can access today's paper online here. There's a lot of news that's going on. You can also want to get to it later or get to anything that you want to read, you can email it to yourself. You can save it. If you have a project that you have to cite work, you can cite the work and send it to yourself. Or create a reference page. And that concludes our presentation on how to access the newspaper using Durham County Library's website. If you have any questions, you can contact me at ldaniels@dconc.gov.